Club football is back. That means the Champions League is back. We got match day 5 predictions here on today's video. We got Chelsea versus Barcelona, Dortmund Villarreal, Manchester City Leverkusen. You got Arsenal versus Bayern Munich and the toilet bowl, Ajax versus Benfica. Welcome back to the Michael Talks Football channel as we do another match day prediction of the Champions League with match day 5. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Who's going to win the toilet bowl between Ajax and Benfica? Who will win between Chelsea and Barcelona? And who will be first after match day 5? Arsenal or Bayern Munich? Let's get straight into the predictions with the first game, and it is the toilet bowl. Ajax versus Benfica. I mean, both of these teams, the only two teams with 4 losses in the Champions League, lost in every single match day. And you can talk about that Benfica have had the tougher schedule than the two teams. But my God, both teams are ass. Straight basura. They should straight go to The Hague for the crimes they are committing in the Champions League this season because the football has been dreadful. You can talk about Benfica have had a tough schedule. They've played Newcastle. They've played other teams like Chelsea. But they just don't look like a convincing side. Even in Liga Portugal, they don't look like a convincing team, Benfica. And then Ajax, I mean, the absolute atrocity mess. It is just a complete farce what Ajax are right now. They couldn't even hire a manager during the international break. Imagine that, people. They didn't even hire a manager. They still got an interim manager. They tried to go for Ten Hag. He rejected their ass. They're getting swipe left, and the football Ajax are playing, they don't have any quality. I'm really fearing that they're going to just be bottom of the Champions League after this league phase, and that would be a huge L on the size of a club like Ajax. Now, for this game, I mean, I would say Benfica are the better team because Ajax are not convincing right now. So I'm going to go with Benfica winning 2-1. But my God, this game is going to be atrocity. If you want me to do a watch along for this game, we got to at least get to 300 likes in this video. If we get to 300 likes, we'll do a watch along for the toilet bowl. Then we have Galatasaray hosting Royal Union. Now, Galatasaray will be missing Victor Osimhen, but Galatasaray will be the home side in this game, which is a huge, huge factor. Even though Royal Union, they went away to Atletico and played a pretty good game. I like the players like Bromas David, obviously Kevin Rodriguez up front. They can definitely cause some trouble. They're defensively not the most solid of teams right now. They've conceded 4, 4, and 3 in the last 3 Champions League games. So for Royal Union, you're going away to Galatasaray. Yes, there's no Victor Osimhen, but you still got guys like Sane, Singo, and a lot of good players on this Galatasaray side. If they can just win this game, that would also be a huge, huge factor for Galatasaray solidifying their playoff spot. And I got Galatasaray winning 2-1. Then Juventus travel all the way north to the Arctic Circle to play Bodø Glimt. Now for Bodø Glimt, they haven't had the best of times in the Champions League. 2 points. They just suffered a 1-0 loss at home to Monaco, even though they dominated the game, but it doesn't matter. You have to convert the chances you create. Bodø Glimt have created enough chances, but I'll say it again, Kasper Høeg has been a disappointment in the Champions League this season. He just hasn't been convincing with the amount of clear-cut chances he's had in front of goal. He has not been good enough. Bodø Glimt defensively are not always going to be the strongest of sides, but they always have the goal scorers on their team. Right now, they don't have enough of it. And they're hosting Juventus. Luckily for Bodø Glimt, they're hosting Juventus, who in themselves have 3 draws in the Champions League and 3 points. Juventus Football Club. I mean, I don't know what to go with this team right now because Spalletti is the manager, but again, it's similar to like an Ajax. The quality level of this Juventus team is nowhere near good enough for Juventus standards. The only 2 players I rate on this side are Bremer, Yildiz, and actually Thuram. Those are the only 3 players. Vlahovic has improved under Spalletti, but Vlahovic is not going to be a consistent striker to what he was at Fiorentina because he has regressed in his career. So Juventus going away to Bodø Glimt. I don't know what the weather is going to be in Bodø. Hopefully it's cold because, my God, that's going to be huge, huge trouble here for Juventus. But Bodø Glimt cannot win games. This is a must-win for both sides. I'm going to go with 1-1 in this game. I just don't think there's going to be a convincing winner in this game. I'm going to go 1-1. Chelsea then hosting Barcelona. Now, this is going to be a good game because Chelsea, they have a point to prove, I think. They are obviously Club World Cup champions. You could say their Champions League campaign hasn't been the most convincing. They had just had a 2-2 draw with Qarabag. Even though I did say, you're going away to Qarabag, you better show up. And they didn't show up. They paid the price. They dropped points. They could have easily lost the game at the end. And yeah, for Chelsea, they're missing key players. Like Cole Palmer's a massive, massive miss. So now you're going to host Barcelona. For Barcelona, defensively, they don't look good. And we saw that in the 3-3 Club Brugge game. You're going to give that sort of space to like a Neto, a Gittins. Yes, you could talk about those players are not the most clinical of finishers. But Chelsea have the elements to score goals against Barcelona. But one thing is, Barcelona will score goals. Because Lewandowski, because Lamine Yamal, because Rashford, if he's going to be healthy for this game. Rafinha, it looks like he'll be back now after this international break. So for Barcelona, they're in good form. Chelsea, I think they're a very good home side. They're not going to play the most attractive of football. It's a little bit pedestrian at times, but Chelsea are still a good team with quality. I would say defensively, they're not the best, but they can stifle Barcelona in this game. I think this is going to be actually a very entertaining matchup. No Pedri is also a big miss for Barcelona because you're going up against Enzo, you're going up against Caicedo, and whoever's going to be the third midfielder for Chelsea. If Maresca wants to go for a more defensive sort of midfield, kind of bring in a Santos or somebody like that into this team. But I think Chelsea, they can disrupt Barcelona here. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be actually an entertaining game at Stamford Bridge. Dortmund hosting Villarreal. This is a must-win for Villarreal. They have no other excuses. You went away to Pafos and lost. Really, Villarreal, come on. They have created so many good opportunities. They are such an excellent side to watch in La Liga. But in the Champions League this season, they have a grand total of 1 point. They have a 1 point against Juventus, everything else, L. And that's why for Villarreal, this is a must-win. They have to win this game. Yes, you're going away to Dortmund. We always know going away to Dortmund is a very difficult task for any opponent. But Villarreal have to have the mindset. Dortmund are not the most convincing of teams. They're just like an 8-4 sort of side right now, Dortmund. They show up, they might get the points, they don't play attractive football. I think that's also down to quality-wise. They're not the best. You could talk about, Niko Kovac, is he really the best manager? But I just look at Dortmund, I'm like, yeah, it's okay right now. Because they got good players like Girassi, Maximilian Bayer, Adeyemi, Schlotterbeck, but the midfield isn't the best. If they give up chances to Villarreal, who will create chances, maybe Villarreal can win this game. But I think just Dortmund are at home, and they're a far superior side at home compared to away from home. I got Dortmund winning this game 2-1. But this could be a Villarreal win. It could be, because you can never trust Dortmund. You just can't. They might show one day a convincing 3-0 victory. The next day they lose 3-1. You're like, what the heck is going on here? I think for this matchup, they'll just sneak by and get the result because Villarreal are just simply not the same team in the Champions League. 2-1, Dortmund. Then Manchester City hosting Leverkusen. Now, this should be a win for Manchester City because Leverkusen simply cannot defend. They got a crucial victory last match day away to Benfica, but still for Leverkusen, it's like, with all the new pieces, I feel like they still got so many good players. Loic Bade, obviously Kwanzaa, you name it. I really like Poku, Kofane up front. You got Patrick Schick now returning. So Leverkusen are starting to get some players back that were injured. But they're going away to Manchester City. So this is going to be a tall order for Leverkusen because Man City, by the way, people, I'm filming this before the weekend football. So Manchester City are traveling away to Newcastle, which could be an L. Man City are not facing a team that are being a very physical side like a Leverkusen because Newcastle are a physical side, Leverkusen really not. They want to play the pretty football. Echeverri might be playing against his old side. I think for Manchester City, they got Erling Braut Haaland, Cherki, these sort of guys. You could talk about defensively, they're not the best, but we saw Manchester City before the international break absolutely take apart Liverpool. I mean, it was the most convincing football I've seen all season from any side. The football they were playing, building out from the back, defensively quite solid. They still got Donnarumma. I think Manchester City now will go on a roll here in the Champions League. I got Man City winning this game 3-1. Marseille hosting Newcastle. Now, this is going to be a great game, I think, for neutral people because Marseille right now are in 25th place. Newcastle are all the way up in 6th place after picking up 3 straight victories. But now Newcastle got a tough test going away to the Velodrome because, look, man, Marseille had a terrible result last time around against Atalanta. De Zerbi being hot-headed like he is, being so frustrated with his team performance, but they didn't play well. Atalanta should have won that game 3-4-0, in all honesty. I mean, Ivan Juric was trying to beef with Lukman, but Marseille couldn't take advantage of it. I think now the international break came at the perfect time for Marseille. Regroup, now go strong for the next couple of months ahead of the March international window. And I think Marseille can get on a good streak here because they still got good players. Like Aubameyang, what Aubameyang is doing still at his age is remarkable. You can talk about defensively, sometimes they're not the best, but I think Højbjerg in the midfield is also a really key player for Marseille. Now, Newcastle, they're missing a couple players, possibly with injury. I think Livramento might be back for this window, Lewis Hall, these sort of guys. So Newcastle are starting to get their starting 11 back, but you got Nick Voltemat, you got Gordon, who can't do anything in the Premier League, but in the Champions League, this guy might be one of the best forwards so far in the Champions League this season. I think this is going to be a good game. I feel like Newcastle can definitely frustrate Marseille. Marseille will try and be the front-footed team, keep possession of the ball, press high up the field. Newcastle will kind of sit back a little bit more. I think this game ends 1-1. Good game. Very entertaining matchup for the neutral. Napoli hosting Qarabag. If Qarabag go away to Napoli and win, that might be one of the more shocking results. Obviously, Qarabag have done remarkable things so far this season. Going away to Atletico, only losing 2-1. Going away to Benfica, having the comeback victory. Home draw against Chelsea. It's like what Qarabag have been achieving so far has been astonishing. Really astonishing. Now they're going away to Napoli. This is a wounded, and I mean a wounded Napoli, who have a grand total of 4 points so far with only one victory against Sporting, where it was not a convincing performance. This is a must-win for Napoli. They got absolutely trounced against PSV. They had a boring draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. Antonio Conte needs to change something ahead of this weekend, because then obviously this weekend will be a huge factor in seeing how Napoli will face against Qarabag at home. He has to go back to his tried and trusted 3-4-3. He has to. He has to bring in a Noah Lug and David Neres. Politano is not good enough for this Napoli team. David Neres has been just sitting on the bench and rotting, but every time he comes onto the field, impact. So Antonio Conte needs to make some changes. Either you go to a two-man midfield, kind of go with maybe McTominay and Lobotka, go with the three center backs. I think that will suit this team a lot more, and you'll see then better play from a Noah Lang, to a Rasmus Højlund, and a David Neres. They're hosting Qarabag. This is a must-win for Napoli. I feel like Napoli are going to get the victory here. We know Antonio Conte probably wants to just throw this tournament away and say, hey, I want to focus on the league here. I think this is the time Napoli get their campaign going. I think Qarabag will be a competitive opponent. I'm going 2-1 for Napoli. Slavia Praha hosting Athletic Club. I mean, this has to be nothing short of a victory here for Athletic Club. They need to win this game. They're having a tough schedule still. They're still going to have to play PSG. I think they're going to still play Sporting. This is a must-win for Athletic Club. Now, Slavia Praha at home, we saw for like first 20 minutes against Arsenal. Good side. We saw at home against Bodø Glimt. Pretty good side as well. It's just away from home. Slavia Praha are not the same team. Slavia Praha just got to be a bit more daring. Got to find a little bit more combination play attacking-wise. Defensively, they're okay, but it's just about the attack that's kind of hurting Slavia Praha. For Athletic Club, I mean, thank God Nico Williams is back, because this team otherwise, they can't create anything. Sanchez had a poor season. Unai Gomez, anybody who's named Unai is just poor. I don't care. Unai Simon is the starting goalkeeper for Spain. This guy is not a convincing goalkeeper for me. I see him every week for Athletic Club. For me, he is not convincing. But Unai Gomez cannot start in this Athletic Club team. And going away to Slavia Praha, it's going to be tough for Athletic Club, but Valverde's side has to get this win. There is no doubt. If they drop points here, yeah, they're not going to make it to the playoff. I'll tell you that right now. So I got Athletic Club winning this game 2-0. I think Slavia Praha are going to be a tough opponent. They could probably disturb them a little bit with the set piece wise, but I think Athletic Club will run out as the victors 2-0. AFC Copenhagen hosting Kairat. Now, this is a pretty entertaining game because it is 33rd versus 34th. Funny how we have 35th versus 36th and 33rd versus 34th. Both teams have 1 point. Both teams have a -8 and a -9 goal difference. So footballing wise, it might not be the best, but both teams will be looking at each other and saying, we got to get the victory. Because a victory in the Champions League is huge money for some of these clubs. And I think because AFC Copenhagen are at home, and look, AFC Copenhagen at home, good side. Kairat away, I mean, they gave a tough game to Inter. They were 1-1 at a point, and it took Inter a late victory to get it. So maybe Kairat can sneak a victory here, but I still think AFC Copenhagen at home, they'll run out with the victory. So I got AFC Copenhagen winning 2-1. Pafos hosting Monaco. I mean, Monaco as well, similar to other teams in the Champions League. They got to get a victory here. And for Pafos, the football they've been playing, yes, it's not the most entertaining. They're defensively solid. They get the 1 goal. They're happy with it. The fact that Pafos have 5 points already, people, is remarkable. It actually is remarkable because they went away to Kairat, got the red card, away to Olympiacos, got a point, and they beat Villarreal. So if you're Monaco, you can definitely not underestimate Pafos. Otherwise, you'll lose the game. You'll lose the game. Now, Monaco went away to Bodø Glimt. Defensively, were okay-ish. They did give up a lot of chances, but they got the victory. I think going away to Bodø Glimt and getting a victory is a massive result here for Monaco. And are we going to see Pogba make his return to the Champions League. I mean, I might shed a tear. Yes, you can ridicule Pogba. He paid the price. He paid the price as not playing football for what, over 2 years now. He's back. I think it would be a remarkable scene to see Pogba play in the Champions League again for Monaco. Now, Monaco just got to win this game. They have good players. Radetzky is back in goal, so there's a little bit more confidence when it comes to defensively. But Monaco are such a hit and miss team this season that I think for Pafos, you can win this game. I wouldn't be shocked if Pafos win this game, but I'm going to go with Monaco just winning it 3-1. And the biggest game, first versus second, Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Now, Arsenal are an incredible side in the Champions League so far this season. 11 goals scored, 4 wins, 0 conceded. Now, they haven't played the toughest opponents, Slavia Praha, Atletico Madrid, they absolutely destroyed. They beat Olympiacos and they beat Atletico. While Bayern Munich are coming off the victory against PSG, they beat Club Brugge convincing, they beat Pafos convincingly, and Chelsea convincingly 3-1. So, great game. You have a team that are defensively solid, even though they're missing Gabriel and Calafiori. And then you got the attack of Harry Kane, Olise, and now Lucho is out for 3 games in the Champions League. When it comes to this matchup, I feel like Arsenal are going to definitely just sit back and defend. I don't think Arteta wants to go toe-to-toe with Vincent Kompany's side because he probably saw the PSG game and he was like, oh wow, we cannot do that. Otherwise, Bayern Munich will cut us up here. Even though Lucho is missing, I feel like Vincent Kompany has now so much confidence within these players that he could maybe slide a Serge Gnabry into the left wing position. And you won't miss a beat here if you're Bayern Munich. And you have Olise. I think Calafiori out. You're going up against maybe Lewis Skelly. So Olise, it's a big matchup for him. He could definitely create here for Harry Kane. I think Gabriel is a massive miss here for Arsenal. Yes, Hincapié is a good defender. And I really rate Hincapié. But Gabriel is an absolute wall for Arsenal the last couple of years. I know people want to ridicule Arteta. Oh, he's so reliant on set pieces. Where's the open play goals? But he's got his team drilled the way he wants it. If you don't like it, go support another team if you're not an Arsenal fan. Because Arsenal fans are happy with the way their team are playing because defensively they look solid. I know they dropped points to Sunderland, but Sunderland are a pretty decent side this season. And that was like the first time Arsenal have conceded a goal in a long, long time. I think now hosting Bayern Munich, they're going to sit back, defend. Bayern Munich counter-attacking wise, are they the best defensively? Not the most because they're missing a player like Alphonso Davies. Konrad Leimer's having an amazing season. I think this is going to be not the most spectacular of games compared to like the PSG Bayern Munich where I was like, oh no, this is going to be great football. This time around, I feel like Bayern Munich are just going to control the game. Arsenal are going to just try and find their moments to really counterattack. And I feel like Arsenal actually will get a point here because Arsenal are a very good side at home. If Bayern Munich go away to the Emirates and get a victory, like convincing 3-1, oh no, Bayern Munich are hands down the favorites for the Champions League. I'm going to go 1-1 in this matchup. Then Atletico are hosting Inter. Now, Atletico right now are in 17th place in the Champions League. Inter are in 3rd place. They only just conceded their first goal in the Champions League, a set-piece goal against Kairat. Now, Atleti, great home side. You know there's that meme of, there's that dragon and he's got his tongue sticking out. Atleti at home, OP. Atleti away, weak. And I think for Atletico, they have the personnel to really hurt Inter here. You guys know, I always rate Inter. I was really questionable of the Christian Kivu hiring, but I think he's done a great job so far. And yes, Inter haven't had the most difficult schedule, so this is going to be a real test. Obviously, they first got the Milan derby this weekend, then they're going to play Atleti away from home. This is a really good sort of test, I think, for Christian Kivu as a manager to see where he's at. And going away to Atleti are not good defensively. Let's just say that right now. There's no Leno Mod. I think he's out injured. There's no good defender. So if you're Inter, you have the 2-man forward line. You still have a Dumfries, a Di Marco who's revitalized this season. Inter could definitely hurt Atleti. But there's just something about Atleti at the Wanda. They're just a different team. They got the energy. They got Julian Alvarez, Griezmann, so many good players. Giuliano Simeone, who's having a great season, I think. He's matured. He's gotten better with his final decision-making. So there's a lot of weapons for this Atleti side, but they're just not good defensively. I think that's why there's going to be goals in this matchup. And simply, if this game was at the San Siro, Inter would win. It's at the Wanda. I got Atleti winning 2-1. Frankfurt then hosting Atalanta. Frankfurt coming off a vital point away to Napoli where they were just defensive and they were just happy with it. And to be honest, I think they need to get some confidence defensively because they have just been leaking goals for fun here this season. And for Frankfurt now, they're hosting Atalanta. Atalanta, they went away to Marseille. Valuable victory after dropping points at home to Slavia Praha. I think for Atalanta, they sacked Juric, which, oh, what a shock. He's a terrible manager. We all could have told you that before the start of the season and hiring him. Juric is a terrible manager. They bring in Palladino. I think this is a great hiring. This is the sort of manager Atalanta need. Young, exciting with his tactics, and he will get the best out of the players. I'm a little bit worried for Adam Al-Lukman because the guy just does not look interested club-wise, country-wise. I mean, he's having a really poor season. I think it all stems from the debacle of the summer where he tried to get the transfer to Inter. It never materialized. So for Atalanta, they're not the most solid defensively. They're going to give up chances here. Frankfurt have a lot of goal scorers. I really like Jonathan Burkhardt. I think he's having a good season. He's their new striker. So for this matchup, I think there's going to be goals. I don't think both teams are the most solid defensively. As we know with Frankfurt, Atalanta are going to give up chances. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw in this game. Liverpool hosting PSV. As a Liverpool fan, all I have to say is thank God for international football because I want to forget about this team right now. They are just dreadful. They're dreadful. I don't even know what to expect from Nottingham Forest this weekend. I just hope they don't lose 2-0, 3-0. If that happens, oh no, Arne Slot has to go. You have to pull the plug here if you're Liverpool. This cannot continue. If Arne Slot, and you guys know if you've been a long time viewer of this channel, if he loses to Peter Bosz, I might lose it. I might lose it, people, because you cannot lose to Peter Bosz. PSV have bounced back this season in the Champions League, and they're playing some decent football after they lost that first game at home to Royal Union. They got the point away to Olympiacos. They obviously destroyed Napoli. They got the point away to Bayer Leverkusen. So PSV haven't been, dreadful. Like I thought they were going to be in the Champions League this season compared to their schedule. And Saibari is unbelievable. Perisic having a decent season. They got Dennis Mann. So PSV had a lot of weapons. And if you're a PSV fan, I actually would have some confidence going away to Anfield. Because Anfield now is 3-point lane. 3-point lane. Anybody could come in. Oh, let's just give you 3 points. Here, PSV, Manchester United, everybody gets 3 points. The problem for Liverpool, defensively, they are a horror show. Konate is more intrigued about his Duolingo streak than football right now and playing for Liverpool. That's just a fact. I don't care what anybody says. Konate had one good game. Oh, guess who it was against, people? Real Madrid. What a shock. So there's nothing in the attack. The midfield is all over the place. I mean, Arne Slot, if he loses this game to PSV, I mean, there's no other choice for FSG. They have to pull the plug here. It is simple as that. And I don't have any confidence. Even though it's PSV, Liverpool fans will be like, PSV, what are they going to do? Look at them. They've conceded 7 goals this season in the Champions League. PSV are a good side. I'm not going to be one of those idiots. And you guys know I follow a lot of European football. PSV are a good side. They won't be scared. Do you think Peter Bosz is going to be scared of going away to Anfield? No. So for this matchup, I'm going 2-2. I really do feel like Liverpool might take like a 2-0 lead. They might feel comfortable. They'll be like, oh, we're back. Look at us. We're a Liverpool Football Club. And then PSV will get 2 late goals and draw 2-2. I think that's what's going to go down. And if that happens, you have another choice but to sack Arne Slot. Olympiacos hosting Real Madrid. Now, Olympiacos had a pretty decent point at home to PSV in the last match day. Real Madrid, poor performance away to Liverpool. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of question marks for Real Madrid during this international window. When they have a poor couple of games, the whole sky is falling. The apocalypse is coming. Aliens are invading this world. That's just how it feels like when Real Madrid drop points. But they're going away to Olympiacos. Olympiacos are a decent side. They weren't super clinical against PSV. They really should have won the game. I mean, Olympiacos actually played some good football. They were just not clinical. Now they're hosting Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid are missing a couple of key players. Defensively, it looks like Eder Militao is going to be injured. Huijsen, he might be returning to the team. So yeah, Real Madrid could be a little bit vulnerable defensively, but they still got Vini, Mbappe. Maybe Xabi Alonso kind of sorted out some tactics during the international window. I think Real Madrid will bounce back in this game. I got the winning 2-0. PSG hosting Tottenham. So obviously PSG coming off the 3-2 loss to Bayern Munich, and that could be a real reality check here for PSG because they were awful. They were awful. I don't care about the second half where they bounced back. It was 10 men Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich said, here, have possession of the ball, try and break us down. There needs to be a bounce back here for PSG. I still believe they are the favorites for the Champions League because they are a good team. They're just missing a lot of key players. Some players now went down with injuries like the Hakimi, Dembele. So what sort of PSG is going to show up against Tottenham? And Tottenham, I'm like, yeah, they're like kind of dormant. 8-4 sort of side. They're not going to entertain you other than Van de Ven scoring a ridiculous goal against FC Copenhagen. They got 8 points so far. But if you look at the opponents that Tottenham have played, they went away to Monaco and drew 0-0. They should have lost the game. Away to Bodø Glimt, they should have lost the game as well. And they beat Villarreal. So they haven't been convincing in the Champions League. They only got that one convincing victory over FC Copenhagen. And I think that's kind of been the thing here for Thomas Frank's side, is that they just haven't been a convincing team. There hasn't been like that spectacular performance where like, oh, really, this looks like a Thomas Frank team right now. But I think it's his first season and people got to, kind of go down with expectations for this team. But you got to see better performances from Xavi Simons especially, because I think Xavi Simons is a great player, but he has not been performing like it. I think PSG at home, this should be a victory for them. I'm going to go 3-1 for PSG. Then the final game, it is Sporting hosting Club Brugge. I really like this matchup because I just like both teams. I really like Club Brugge and what they did against Barcelona. They should have won the game. You cannot be taking 3 times the lead and drop it every single time. And that's kind of been the problem for Club Brugge, is they are an entertaining team. They're going to give up chances. They must be better defensively. Now going away to Sporting, and Sporting, again, it's like they've had a pretty good season in the Champions League. They just went away to Juventus, got the 1-1 draw, but they weren't great in that game. Obviously, they beat Marseille. They obviously beat Kairat in the first match day. So for Sporting, this is a good test for them. I think they need a game like Club Brugge, who are a similar level, I would say. If you kind of like, if they were a neutral ground, I would say that Club Brugge would win this game. At Sporting, I think Sporting can bounce back here after, a poor performance away to Juventus. I'm going to go, though, 1-1 in this matchup. There we have it, people. Match day 5 predictions of the Champions League. We got some great games. And, of course, we'll be doing a live review of Match day 5. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We're on the road to 30K. And follow me on all the socials. Instagram, Twitter, join the Discord. All those links, description down below. But have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world. Till next time. Adios.